It's not about me. It is about people at the grassroots level. It is about people running for school board, for city council, for mayor, for state legislature, for Congress, for the Senate. But it is millions of people getting involved in the political process in a way that we have never seen in the modern history of this country.
This was a bit of a barn burner, you know? Doesn't strike me as a candidate who's like, I lost, I'm going to go quiet into the night. Strikes me as someone who just doesn't give a damn, believes what he believes, and is telegraphing to the Democratic Party, this is much more, this is about way more than electing me or even the presidency. This is about putting an end to your special interest reign. What'd you get out of the speech? Do you think he's intentionally ruffling feathers, or do you think he's paving the way for a real movement to continue?
He's trying to pave the way. What I got from Bernie's speech was that he wants to continue this revolution regardless of who the Democratic nominee is, right? You heard him talk about helping raise platform issues for other down ticket candidates, like in Syracuse, right? It didn't seem like he was giving up or quitting at all, right? It seemed like this revolution was all that really mattered to him.
He's definitely channeling this idea that the revolution has to continue past the election. It's not just about the election, it's about changing the way politics works in this country. It's about changing the conversation about what's important right now, what should be in the news. And it's amazing. I'm so glad that TYT is here, that so many other media outlets are here to cover the real issues, which is exactly what he's talking about.
You know what? You can beat the establishment. They are not quite as powerful as some make them out to be. We, in some states, won 70-80% of the vote, and you got superdelegates who are not respecting the democratic will of their people. We're going to change that. And in fact, while we're at it, we may as well transform the entire Democratic Party.
When you hear him talk, he's like, we're going to get rid of superdelegates, and while we're at it, we're going to just transform the party. They don't want to hear this. They want Bernie to go back to his little corner. They want him to go out, say Hillary Clinton's wonderful. They want him to basically take the money, take the attention off of money in politics and put it on bashing Donald Trump. Bernie Sanders is saying, yeah, I'll bash Donald Trump, but I'm not going to just fall in line with the policies that I've been fighting against. How do you think that's going to play? Because obviously, you know, the establishment isn't in love with that.
Yeah, they're not going to like it. But I mean, we the people, we're going to love it, right? We want to see Bernie keep fighting regardless of what happens.
Do you think this is ruffling feathers, or do you think it's time to keep ruffling the feathers of establishment people who pretty much want him to go away?
No, definitely. I want him to keep ruffling feathers. I want him to keep fighting the Democratic Party tooth and nail all the way until the convention, past the convention, because they're just really tone deaf. They don't really get it. You know, they think that now that Bernie's lost, we're going to all rally behind Hillary. And they're all going to be okay with that because we just want to see him as president. We just want to see a Democrat in the president, like the blue Democrats. Like, I don't believe in any of that. I think it's the issues that matter. So I'm so proud of him to keep on fighting. And I think he doesn't intend to. I don't think he intends to ruffle. No, he's definitely intending to ruffle feathers, and I'm so proud of him for doing that because if anyone has the platform to do it, it's him.
What do you think about the presidency? Like, do you think it's an incredibly important position in the sense that in moving this movement forward in terms of getting money out of politics and stuff? But do you think that is a good way that we can do stuff on a grassroots level? How important is the presidency, and who are you going to vote for at this point?
When I was having a discussion with a lot of Bernie supporters, people for Bernie, team for Bernie, I kind of understand the duality that you're talking about. You know, people want to focus on local elections because they feel like it's more impactful, or they want to focus on the presidency. I think it's all necessarily important. The presidency is one of the most powerful positions in the world, if not the most powerful. So you really affect, a lot of the international policy, a lot of the trade policy, and where the economy kind of dictates and where it goes. So that's very important. But I feel like us as local people, obviously voting for president is important, but we have to really put other people in positions of power, whether it's Congress, whether it's the House of Representatives, whether it's even just a local assembly election here in New York, to put people in power that we really feel is going to do the best job for us.
Now that there's this kind of never-ending food fight in the media against Donald Trump, who's a buffoon, and Hillary Clinton, who's not the ideal nominee, where does the movement go from here? How do you take this momentum from Bernie's movement and bring it into the future, even if your candidate isn't going to be the nominee?
Well, I don't think that anybody who's interested in Sanders' ideas or platform is interested in this particular election as a finite situation. We're interested in changing an entire situation. So you don't do that in 1 year or 2 years. You have a long-term game plan. And so we have brandnewcongress.org, which is getting a brand new Congress. We have Berniecrats, which is berniecrats.net, where new politicians are coming into every single office and trying to push out and take the places of the old Clinton-crats, Clinton's establishment Democrats who have not been fighting for us for at least maybe a decade or two. We don't have a Democratic Party right now. We have a light Republican Party and a completely bonkers bunch of people that I don't even know what they stand for anymore, and nobody really cares anymore.
I think what he's doing is just focusing his attention on, supporting progressive candidates across the country, running for local and state and federal level positions, and I think that's amazing. I think that's exactly what the political revolution is about. It's not about Bernie himself. It's about a revolution to elect new progressive candidates into office who are going to represent the people. So I think that the revolution just begun, and in my eyes, he's already a winner.
They want him essentially to be a good soldier, like politics is usually played. Right. And Bernie's saying, yeah, I'll get to Donald Trump, but I'm going to, I didn't do this for nothing. And how is that going to jive? Because obviously the media is going to continue to hit him. All the Hillary people are going to be indignant about him barnstorming, not formally endorsing her. How do you think that's going to play out?
I think that's what Bernie Sanders' strengths are. He's an anti-establishment candidate. His supporters love him because of the fact that he's not your typical politician. He's not, like you said, he's not falling in line. He's not gonna be easily bullied into endorsing her, and that's what people love about him. If he was a typical politician, he would have bowed out of the race a while ago, and he would have endorsed her. But he hasn't done that. He's really shown his supporters that he's in for the long run, because it's not about Bernie becoming president. It's about getting his progressive policies on the Democrats' agenda.